Hello and welcome. Welcome back to another Onkruid video. Welcome back to another unedited Soulstone Survivors video. We did beat Curse level 6 last time on the first map. I was not able to record a screenshot, that's my bad. And we did it with this exact build. Our Barbarian friend, who is prestige level 97 already right now, with a focus on bleed and the application of status effects. I'll show you how it works because I think it really is a success build that we can now transfer into the other maps as well to finally get these last curse levels cleared out and move on to some other goals. I was studying the other achievements that we still need to get. I was just studying them for a while before I started recording this video, and there was still some things in there, or a bunch of things in there rather, about like use this character and get it clear in 12 minutes or less, use this character and get it clear in 12 minutes or less, reach Overlord mode level so much, reach endless mode level so much. So there's still a bunch of other things that we have to do without having the curses on, you know, actually getting back into speedrun mode, and I'm looking forward to that. There's also definitely some characters that we still need to get a lot of prestige levels with, like the Paladin and the Legionnaire. I haven't touched those characters after playing them once, I think. But if we find like a success build for them as well, I think it will go pretty quickly, because the max level achievement that you can get is 60, I think. And all in all things considered, you can get there pretty quickly. For now I'm going Thunderclap, but it's not really what I'm looking for in the end, but it's just a nice intermediate build, or a nice intermediate skill rather, to fill up a slot while we are looking for our actual build elements, which mainly relies on a whole lot of bleed. A lot of bleed effects, and then getting extra attack speed to apply even more bleed. And that's pretty much what it's all about, with the addition of applying a whole other bunch of negative status effects if possible. Nice little behemoth in there early is never gonna hurt anybody. Some defensive upgrades from the start can always help us out. And this is of course one of the hardest phases of the game, those first couple of elites and getting them down. It's always really a challenge in and of itself, especially when you get knocked across the map like that. Don't really need any of these. Scent of Blood, there we go, that's already beautiful. Damage increase for the swings, sure. A little area upgrade is gonna help us out tremendously as well. We don't really need any of these. Blade Storm is fine, but it's not necessary. A little area of effect, okay, our Blade Storm is already immense, that's very nice. Some critical damage upgrade, and now the ball has started rolling. Now we're on our way to greatness. Not necessarily what we want over here, but we still have the time to replace them with the skills that we actually need, and then we will be golden. Everything will be coming up Millhouse again, and we will be able to progress nicely in this 38th, maybe even 39th episode of Soulstone Survivors already, I'm not sure. Flurry and Bloodlust, both skills we need for our build. I think I'm gonna go with Flurry first. It's a nice way of applying a whole lot of bleed effects and a whole lot of negative debuffs that makes the scent of blood, yeah, makes it even stronger. Frequency of that scent of blood is very welcome. Don't really need any of these. Some damage increase for our double slash. We're not gonna keep our quick strike, so we're definitely not gonna try and upgrade that, or try not to upgrade that rather. Some fragility is gonna be very handy because we apply a whole lot of debuffs already with the quickness of our Blade Storm and also our Flurry, and that's really where this build shines. Just applying even some more area effect, even applying a whole lot of negative effects, a whole lot of debuffs in a short amount of time. There we go. Our Blade Storm is already large enough to cover almost the entire screen, and it's really going to be helpful in clearing out these weak monsters. First set of lords is almost coming in. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to deal with them proficiently already, but we're definitely going to try. Not necessarily what we want over here. Damage increase is always very nice. Maybe a little bit more of an area increase is also going to be helpful, because for now our double slash just doesn't necessarily reach our enemies all the time. Or almost none of the time, really. Not quick enough to dash out of that. I really should just dash to the side. That's a lot easier. Alright, multicast. Multicast is also very vital for this build, or at least very helpful. We don't see what we want here. Well, yeah, multicast is very helpful, but not on Thunderclap, because we don't want Thunderclap. We don't want to keep Thunderclap. There we go. Ooh, that's a hard hit. We need to be careful still. We're not immortal at all, and we are actually very, very slow for some reason. Very slow, only 2 dashes, so a next thing to invest in is definitely movement speed and other utility skills for survivability. The sickness is still lingering there, sadly enough. It's been more than a week. But for some reason, my throat just doesn't want to heal, I guess. Although I haven't had any aches in my throat for a couple of days now, so that's at least nice, but I am still coughing. Some movement speed, that's exactly what we asked for, even though it's just an uncommon upgrade that can already do wonders at this stage of the game. But we are definitely struggling a little bit for now. Powerful strikes, that's what we like to see. Let's try and just get rid of at least one lord so that the crystal can help us suck up all the experience that is scattered around the map. And I think then we will be better. Area effect of flurry, nobody ever said no to that. A little magnetic upgrade to level up a bit quicker. And I think we're coming close to being off to the races, but we're definitely not off to the races yet. What I did earlier today was I installed World of Warcraft again. It's probably the most famous MMORPG out there. And it's also probably one of the most time-consuming games out there. And I'm not gonna really get into it, or at least that's not what I think, because I also just don't have the time anymore to do such things now that I work a full-time job. But I just want to get all these fucking quick strike upgrades when we are not using that ability. I just want to take a quick look at it again because all my friends are going so hard in the new expansion, in the Dragonflight expansion. So I want to check out the bus for myself, level up a character until level 20, because that's something you can do for free. And then probably just retire again from World of Warcraft. Unless if I like really enjoy myself, I might consider taking a one-time subscription again to just get a feel for what the end game is about as well. Body slam picked up right there, by the way, which is something we always like. It's not necessary for the build we're going for, but it's a nice skill in between to deal some quick damage to all our enemies. But yeah, World of Warcraft, it's a game I've had this on-off relationship with, you know. I enjoy playing it sometimes, but I never really got into it all that much, or at least not at the level my friends got into it. I was always playing too many games to focus on just one game and play the end game eternally. I did level up a character until level, what was it, 120 back then? In like the Legion, or no, the Battle for Azeroth expansion, I think, which is already a while ago. And I had a lot of fun, but I didn't necessarily find the drive or find the enthusiasm needed to continue the grind and run Mythic Plus dungeons and stuff like that. No, I was max level and the leveling experience was fun. I farmed some dailies, I farmed some reputation for a while, but I didn't do it really profoundly, or I didn't do it all that often. I just did it for a quick sec and then I quit. Because I wanted to play other games again. It's a time-consuming game, that's for sure. You need to be careful with those. But I'm just gonna see what the fuzz is about in this new expansion. Probably gonna make a human. For some reason, that's like my favorite race in WoW. I really don't know why, but I love making humans. The class that's more difficult. I often really don't know what class I want to play, and that's why I often make multiple humans at once in different classes, and I play all of them at once as well. At least that's what I did when I dabbled back into the Rattle the Lich King private server I played for a while, which is, I think, not really legal, so don't tell the cops on me, please. I don't want a SWAT team to raid my house and shoot me in the back of my head with military precision. I would really rather not have that, especially not now that my life is finally getting like on the road, on the tracks. Things are falling into place. I would rather live for a while still now, if that's possible. If that's not too much to ask, I would rather just survive for a little while, huh? And I also want to survive up until the summer vacation, because we are normally going back to Switzerland this year with the family again. Which means that I don't have to take the train and I don't have to lose 2 entire days by traversing in the entirety of Europe by train. A very fun experience when looking back at it, and just something unique, but the German railroads can just absolutely kiss my ass. It was not a fun experience in the moment. It was very, very stressful. Especially because I was all the way alone. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I went to Switzerland as well this summer, but with like another part of my family, and their car was already full, so I had to come by train. And what normally was supposed to be like an 8-hour train ride turned into 2 12-hour train rides. Or well, it was supposed to be 2 8 hours, but it turned into 2 12-hour train rides with delays and having to take trains that I normally wouldn't take, and having to get off at earlier stations that I would normally have to have gotten off, and all that good things. Arriving a lot later in Switzerland on my first day than planned, so missing an entire day as well. It was an interesting experience, but a one-time experience. I don't necessarily want to do it again. I think at least definitely not alone. Not that I was really, really stressed all that often, but I kept my calm, that's for sure. Most of the time at least, but it was just a bit boring sometimes, you know, to sit there on your own in the station, wait for the next train all the time. It would be a bit more fun if you had someone to talk to at least. One thing that was fun on that trip though was that almost all of the trains, because you had to be on the same train for like 5 hours sometimes, was that those trains had Wi-Fi on them, so I could do some fun stuff in the meantime. In the way back, for example, not necessarily the most fun activity, but at least I felt I was doing something helpful and something productive. I reviewed a buddy's master thesis in its entirety. So just on one single train trip, I read through her entire thesis and gave feedback. That was interesting as well. And all in all, it was definitely worth it, the hassle though, because that Switzerland trip is probably one of the most beautiful vacations of my entire life, and I don't think it will get topped quickly. Although I love every vacation I go on, that's for sure. Especially if it's with my girlfriend, that's always a lot of fun, because we always make the most of fun out of any single experience that we have together. And I think that is a great quality of a good relationship. If whatever you are doing is fun because you are doing it together, I think that's really beautiful and that's really powerful. A powerful indicator of everything in your relationship going A-okay. Is this build going A-okay? I am not really sure right now. I feel like there's a lot of pillars surrounding us that are destroying our capacity to just chill for a little bit. We're always just having to dodge, like this guy right here. But I don't have the burst potential to get rid of the pillars immediately in one drive-by. Let's try and get into this large pool of experience here. Damage increase for the flurry, sure, I took it because it was a rare upgrade, but I don't think we're actually going for the damage necessarily. We're going more for the attack speed and the application of debuffs with that skill, so I don't know if it was the best decision, but we took it now either way. Bloodlust is gonna help us out. Thunderclap, see you later, never wanted to in the first place, but it took a while to get rid of. And what else happened today? When I was going to work, a part of my bike just fell off, so I had to walk to work for a long while, and I also had to walk home the entire way, which was interesting. It was okay. I mean, would I have rather just cycled to my house and had the entire evening? Yeah, sure, but it was cool to do the trajectory that I have to do from work to home, but then walking instead of cycling. It was a cool little mix-up compared to normal. And I can already pick up my bicycle again on Monday, so they were kind of quick with it, which is something I also very much enjoy. I love it when things get fixed quickly and well as well, that you don't have to go back in 2 days because you are just riding on a bike with only one wheel or something. This bike has caused me some trouble though in the past year when I was heading to the job application conversation, the job interview for this first job that I've been working in for a while now. The saddle broke off, so I had to cycle there while standing up for a while and also walk there for a second or for a while. And now the pedal broke off, so I also had to walk for a while. It really is kind of cursed, that bicycle. But it has served me well so far. I've had it for a while already, I think. Since like the first year of... No, like the second year, third year of high school? Something like that, I think, probably. So it has served me for a while already. I don't necessarily want to get rid of it right now. Something I do want to get rid of is these lords, our adversaries over here. And it's not going too quickly, but we're also not going too slow. And we are just surviving. I think we just need some patience and then everything will be a-okay. What are we missing in terms of skills? Nothing much really. I think just like in general upgrades and stuff. Because I feel like if we do get close, we can do some nice damage. If our double slash actually does hit the enemy, I think, because that ability is level 13, but it's such a short range that I don't know whether we're actually hitting the lords with it or not. So maybe I should focus on area upgrades for now, so that the double slash can be as large as our blade storm, or at least almost as large as it. Incarnation of Fire is done for, and there we go. Thermal Shock is going to be helpful as well. Savage Strike is also part of the build I did normally, but do I want to replace anything? I think I might want to replace Body Slam, because we haven't been focusing on max health upgrades. But I mean, Savage Strike, Body Slam, I don't think it's really going to be a difference. So 10, so 1000 times 3 based on your maximum health. So I think this is just baseline more damage right now, right? So let's try it out. And maybe it's also a bit of a larger range, which would also help us out a ton. But as you can see, we're definitely struggling a bit less than some of the latest builds we have been attempting on this channel. And I have to really make some progress right now, because I can't just keep uploading losses of the same stages of the game over and over again. There needs to be some progression in these videos, because otherwise why will you watch them? You won't watch them for the commentary because I'm not funny or interesting. You won't watch them for the editing because I don't edit these videos. You're probably not watching them for the gameplay anymore, because I mean it's episode 38, so you kind of know the gist of things. So really, what are you doing, man? Come on, get your shit together. No, thank you very much for watching, if you're still at this point. The series is still pulling in some numbers, that's for sure, and I'm still enjoying making it, so that's even the more important part, of course. But yeah, it's just amazing how low effort it is. The thing that's causing the most effort and that's causing me the most harm, if you will, concerning this series is the time I need to render and upload all these videos, because I kind of forget to put it on most of the time, or I just don't put on my PC on some days anymore. So it's quite hard for me to actually find an opportunity to upload and render all of these videos, which is why I think tonight, it's 12 o'clock already, so it's actually Saturday by now. I think that I'm gonna leave it running for a while, let it upload like a bunch of videos, let it render a bunch of videos, maybe put an alarm at like 4 at night if I'm really that crazy, and then come and turn off my PC so that I don't waste any electricity. But I'm not sure if it's actually the right approach, because I don't want to be tired tomorrow either. But I definitely have to upload some videos, and I have to render some more if I want to keep up with the schedule. And maybe I should just calm down with the schedule a little bit, but that's definitely something I also do not want to do. So all things I worry about for a while, or not necessarily worry about, but I have to think about, and there doesn't seem to be one option that is really fitting, that is really a nice solution. That's why I'm struggling with it a little bit. Just like I'm struggling with these lords a little bit. Although these are already the last 3, and I still have both my revives. So I'm actually not struggling at all. It's actually a-okay. We might have finally found the actual build that is gonna get us there. That is gonna get us to glory and greatness. And it is Bleed, Attack Speed, Multicast, Barbarian. We've had some success with this in the past, but I didn't know it was actually this essential to achieving victories, to just go this build. Bit of area effect on the flurry is not bad. Let's try and get nice and close, really get our hits in, and apply all those debuffs. I can see that we apply like 150 stacks of poison immediately just by passing through one, so that's really helpful. Cool stuff. Cool stuff for sure. Was a nice and calm work day today. The actual boss of like the group practice, the group therapy practice I'm a part of on some days of the week, was not there today, so we kind of had to make our own assignments, make our own little tasks, and I spent a bunch of time well, talking with one of my colleagues about a case that we were following together, and it was a very interesting conversation. It was very nice to share what I talked about with the client yesterday, because my colleague was not able to be there. It was also just a very pleasant conversation in general. And then in the evening I spent a whole bunch of time creating kind of like this poster, if you will, on Canva, where I also make my thumbnails, that kind of summarized all the different camps and workshops that we are still organizing in 2023. And I really love making things like that. Graphic design is my passion. That's kind of like a meme, but I really enjoy graphic design as well. Skills can now be picked multiple times. Power-ups that enhance a specific skill will be applied to a random instance of the skill. So I could have like 5 flurries if I wanted to. But 5 runic power was the cost of that rune, so that's really to do some crazy shit, but I don't necessarily know for what type of build that would be helpful. Either way though, first character, level 100 prestige, curse level 6 on the second map done, and the third map is coming right up. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye bye.